True. I should say it looks like the issue that's plaguing SE2 is still plaguing StarCraft Evolution as well. The lack of Zerg, and to be fair here, lack of Terran as well for this bracket. As spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Sylphid, we have the pink Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong representing Team Hyper 1. I mean, I did just mention it, so it shouldn't surprise me. Going for the 12 pool, it is Koht. God damn it. And spawning in the top right hand corner, or the top corner I should say, the top corner of Sylphid, we have the yellow Protoss player, the SE2 Protoss, it is Dewalt. Now welcome one and all to a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn bottom left, bottom right, and top center of Sylphid. So we can see Koht is going for a drone scout towards the top side and overlord scout on the right hand side. Remember, he is 12 pooling, but he needs to know which direction to point his 12 pool in. You know, do we go top? Do we go south? Do we go left? Do we go right? Koht is still figuring that out, and soon he will. Now the drone scout is going to be a tell, like it's very odd to see a drone scout this early on without good reason, so Dewalt should be suspicious of this drone. As the drone does come in, Dewalt's now aware, link production has begun, and the boys are being pulled, so 12 pull, drone pull. I mean, hey, this is how Koht beat Hero, true. Hero, best Protoss player in Korea, best SE2 Protoss at least, did go down to Koht. What can Dewalt do? Let's go. As Dewalt, he will scout, he will confirm, he gets eyes on all the drones, he knows what's going on, he is aware, he's trying to wall up. Zelt's on the way. And the drone is here to block. The drone, oh my god, takes out the probe. The probe goes down, another boy is being pulled, but it's too late. It's too little too late. The drones have arrived, they're going for the pylon. If they get us around, they can just end the game here and now. The drones, they come in to make sure that the wall is open. Yeah, there is no block off. Zeld has arrived, Lings as well. Zeld gets surrounded. Yeah, Zeld is completely surrounded, and this may just be game. Likewise, probes are being pulled, the Zeld goes down, a pylon under fire, and without that pylon, I mean, what can we do? What can we do, Pappy? What can we do? As, yeah, the pylon is going to be targeted, the boy is being forced back, 9 probe kills, second Zeld does not pop out, and that's game. That's game, Bobby. That's game. Then, you know, I was looking forward to some longer games. I was looking forward to some macro games. So far, nothing but cheese. I mean, I'm not too opposed to that either, I guess. GG gets called, and Koht will take game number 1 against Dewalt. GG. GG. Whew. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if this is how Koht actually made it here to the quarterfinals as well. Just pure 12 pool drone pools. God damn it. GG, well played. Does take lead in the series, and now we're jumping into game number 2. Oh boy, we'll see if Koht does expand this time. We'll see if he expands. We'll see if he does go for once again the 12 pool as we are loading into Frostline. Let's go. Dark did the same thing weeks ago. Yeah, so did Koht. Again, just to reiterate, Koht, it was last month. It was last month where Koht was able to 12 pool, drone pool Hero. So doing more of the same. And here we go. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in. He's droning. Okay. Let's go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Frostline, we have our pink Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong representing Hyper 1, leading the series 1-0. It is Koht. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the yellow Protoss player, the brutal Protoss. It is Dewalt. Let's go. Just catching up with the chat. Guys, remember that recent patch when they removed Cater and Amulet from the Temple Archives? Oh no. Smurge. Guys, remember that patch where they reduce the bunker build time by X amount of seconds? It's crazy. Aye. But Koht is droning. He's droning up, is going for a hatch first opener, so it looks like we're going to be slowing things down a little bit here, and Koht is building up. Going hatch, gas pull, more or less a standard opener, and Dewalt is going to be able to embrace his own Protoss. Initially going 2 gate, 2 gate opener into expand from Dewalt. So we are going to be setting up. and settling in. Now, when it comes to Frostline is one of the larger maps in the map pool. True, it is a larger map, but it's also not the most defendable map. We've seen a lot of Protoss players, or a lot of players in general, struggle to defend on Frostline. The reasoning for this is because of how open the third bases are, whether it's the linear third base or the southern third base, very, very open. It's a little bit easier to attack, it's a little bit easier to get a concave on the defending player. So because of that, we've seen a lot of Protoss players invest quite heavily into site defense, into defense in general, to try to survive that mid game if we get there. Assuming that Koht would be one to, you know, drone up, saturate, and look to go for 3 base aggression. Likewise, the bases are also very spread out, very isolated from each other. But I look forward to a longer game state. Koht, he does scout the 2-gate opener. Zealots are on the way. We have the initial spine crawler here out of Koht. Queen popping out as well. And he should be safe and sound here. His drones at least. And Zealots are forced back. Again, Dewalt building up to 6 Zealots. He's got 4 already. He's got 2 more on the way. Mass amount of Zealots. Again, there was a delay on the Cybercore. I mean, there is no Cybercore period. Just mass Zealots. So Koht's reading this well. Once he saw the initial opener, threw down the spine crawler, and he should be safe. Should be safe and sound here. I would say from here he should be safe to drone, but Koht, he's still making more lings, waiting for ling speed. He's not droning. He's not droning up, massing up even more lings. And this time, a little bit less certain of. He's going to be that much more committed, and his goal here should be to try to catch out these Zealots ahead of time before they get to the shield battery, before they get hurt. As Dewalt, he races back, ling speed still not done, and we're still making what we're still not droning. We pull the boys. The boys are being pulled. Koht commits. I was like, oh, maybe we can expand, maybe we can drone, maybe we can macro. Nah. No, not from Koht, Bappy. But the problem here is that he didn't get this around. He did not want. What is happening? We're going for proxy hatchery? Okay, I guess. We're going for like a spine rush setup, but this is so late. It's so delayed. Stargate's already in production. Forge as well here for Dewalt. Koht has no drones whatsoever. This is going to take so long to really get going. By the time it does, we're going to have what? Some scouts? Oh boy. Now, the hope here for Koht is to drag the army out. True. If he can drag out these Zealots and try to bait him out into the open and get a full surround, like that'll be ideal. Scout is on the way, as we did mention. More lings moving out. And will the delayed spine rush work? As we do have a cannon on the way. Dewalt hasn't seen much, but is playing safe. He's playing it out safe here. Oh, the first spine crawler uprooted. God damn it. It's gonna be 3 spine crawlers here. Going for another hatchery? Okay. Oh no, okay. It's going for creep. Yeah, never mind. Spreading creep. There we go. Scat does confirm. Now he's aware. Does force out the Zealots. And here comes the surround. Hey, lings, they collapse in. They do get a surround. Nice catch here from Koht. The bait worked. Still not the best trade here. The Zealots, they can hold their own for a time, but the Zealots are being cleaned up. Jesus, that shield battery putting in a lot of work. And you know what? He trades pretty evenly with those links. Oh my god. The power of the Zealot. Mate, Zealots are cracked. They're crazy. Despite the surround, Dewalt, he still comes out on top. The spy calls are slowly pushing in. Again, Brood War Zealots, they build different. They build different back. Oh my god. Spine is moving in. Behind this, we have, I was going to say some droning going on. We do have some drones on the way for more spine crawlers. So we have a wall of cannons and shield batteries on the way. Zealots, they move in, and there might not be enough lings here. They're going to try this around. First spine crawler is going to fall. He gets the first spine. Okay, decent surround, out of range of the shield battery. Cleans up the Zealots. Cleans up those Zealots. Takes down the Zealot. Gets within range of the first cannon as well. And this might be getting out of hand here. The bay is on the way. We don't have any additional sky. I was going to say additional air units. It may not have mattered because of all the queens. Scatters across the map. And the wall is being broken. The wall is being broken. Down goes the gateway. Down goes the cyber core. There will soon be a Reaver on the way. Well, that robot is looking exposed. Spines are moving in. And again, Koht is slowly making his way towards that robo. Oh, the cannons! Oh my god. Mistransfuse. Does miss a transfuse. One queen goes down. Behind this Koht, he's still not droning. Just making workers here for more spines. Reavers in production. And is that Reaver going to be enough? I mean, there's no support, right? There's no more zealots. Soon to be no more gateways. Extra gates on the way in the main. Dewalt is in trouble. But these cannons are protecting this position. That's a lot of cannons. There's a lot of cannons, and the first Reaver is about to pop out. Oh my god. Some awkward movement there from Koht. Very awkward. Yeah, he just cannot get close to this. He cannot break this. Reaver has arrived. And he can start shelling away. He can start shelling away. And now finally Koht is forced to drone. He's forced to drone up. He doesn't want to, but I mean, what else can he do? He cannot break this. And this is a late realization from Koht. Now going into his lair. Dewalt has had a better economy for much longer. His production now up and running, making mass zealots. And Dewalt is in a better position here. Like, this was just such a massive investment here for Koht. He needs to expand, needs to drone, needs to tech up. Getting into Ling Hydra, I would imagine. Potentially into Mutas. But at least this will buy time, right? This should buy time. We have a couple of transfuses available as well. Oh, despite that. Spycrawler falls, Zellsay breakouts. And my biggest concern here as we clean everything up is, can these Zelts be dealt with? Answer is not right now. Not with those Lings. Yeah, Spycrawlers are falling, Lings are coming from behind. Oh, they get us around. Oh, almost. Oh my god. Yeah, Scarab shots are brutal. Gets one Reaver. And the charge lots. The Zealots, they do overwhelm. And what is there at home to defend? There's nothing. There's nothing here. There's no Roach Warren. We're going for the Spire? Ay, ay, ay. These charges on their own, even without the Reaver, may just end the game. Yeah, Zellsay can just move out. We can just send it, Pappy. Just send it. They can just move out across the map. There's no spines to defend. Again, the Spire is exposed. We have a couple of Queens and a handful of Lings. They'll do nothing here against those Zealots. Oh, they're so fast. Look at their legs go. They're speedy boys. And Lings, they can try to engage. But there are just so many of these Zealots. They overwhelm the Lings. Yeah, Lings do nothing. GG gets called, and Dewalt ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. Going to the ace match here. Go to game 3. And we'll see if Koht expands and drones. It's something that he tried to do towards the end, but it feels like Koht, he was forced to drone. It doesn't feel like he necessarily wanted to. Forced to drone towards the end, and he was torn apart. We'll see. We'll see how the story ends as we load into Bloody Ridge. Let's go. Scribes don't do friendly fire? No. From my understanding, they do not do friendly fire. As we are getting into our next game and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Bloody Ridge, we have the pink Zerg player. We have the pink Zerg representing Team Hyper 1 from land of Hong Kong, being forced into the ace match. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is Koht. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brutal Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is Dewalt. Once again, loading into Bloody Ridge. Speaking of, is this the ridge they're talking about? Maybe. Maybe. We spoke about this map earlier, though. Again, there are just less bases, less expansions here on Bloody Ridge. Might be what Koht wants. Likewise, a very narrow choke point here at the natural, so the natural is pretty well defendable. Koht does open up gas first. Gas pool opener here out of Koht. With this, we can of course prioritize and rush into Ling speed. We can go into earlier lair as well. We can set up for a Bane bust, a Roach rush. Koht has options. Does have options here with how he wants to use that gas. We'll see what it's spent on. But regardless, hyper aggression from our Zerg player as he goes for a very late expansion. So late expand here from Koht. Likewise, Dewalt once again 2-gate opener. This looks like 2-gate Mass Zealot, just like the previous game with a delayed Cyber Core. So yeah, 2-gate into Nexus. This is the same build 2 games in a row. So we should be building up towards 6 Zealots. And I'll be honest, I'm concerned for Koht. Koht, he does get Ling speed, but look at this, he stays in. He stays in gas, so this could be for a Bane bust. This could be for the Baneliness into Bane bust. We could go into Roaches, but usually when it comes to this kind of build, we'd go for a Roach Warren first and delay the gases. Oh, there it is. Roach Warren is on the way. So no Bane bust, Lings into Roach. Oh boy. Now, the initial Zealots won't be able to get too much done, but as the Zealot count gets higher and higher, that's where I'm going to be more concerned here for Koht. Zealot moves out. The Overlord is fully aware. And he wants that first round. Pulling back to the second Zealot. Does try to pull away, buying more time. Zealot escapes. And he walls up. He walls up, he walls off. Again, seeing Lings this early on is somewhat of a tell, but the reality is that Dewalt does not know about the gas time. He doesn't know about the early gas, he doesn't know about the early tech. All he knows is early pool. And the scout is denied. Scout is denied. As he gets surrounded, I was going to say the Ling speed timing would be a tell, but he will not see Ling speed. Not anymore. Here come the Roaches. Now, this should be a Ling Ravager all-in, where the goal is that the Ravagers focus down the wall, focus down the Zealots, they kind of create an opening. I'm still not entirely convinced, I'll be honest, but we'll see. It's just Zealots are pretty good. They're pretty powerful. Now, the ideal for Koht, I think, would be to surround the Zealots, lock them down, and then Bile. Similar to ZvZ. Like Ling Ravager versus Roach, for example. So we'll see if we can land those Biles. We want more Zealots are amassing. Army gets spotted. Does spot the Ravagers. Already under fire. Biles on the shield battery. Zealots try to chase him down. First Zealot goes down. Nice kiting so far. And you can see the Lings still amassing. Doesn't pull the trigger yet. Still going for the shield battery. Yeah, and with good enough kiting, these Zealots should never get on top of the Ravagers. I mean, the Roach Ravager on its own here doing well. Here come the Lings! Yeah, they come in for the surround. They collapse on the army. No more shield batteries. Lings, they get past the army. Into the natural. And Dewalt, he's being overwhelmed. He's being overwhelmed. He gets caught out of the open. Shield battery too little too late. And Koht from here, he should have done it. Cannons are finishing though. Okay. Cannons are finishing up. One cannon goes down. Dragoons have arrived. And Dewalt, he's holding. Impressive. Oh, has to be comfortable to be surrounded though. Has to get out of here. Jeez, the Dragoons, they do so much damage. Catches out one of the Ravagers. Pulls away in time. And Dewalt, he's holding. He's holding on, bearing in mind there's no drones. There's no drones behind this, there's no saturation, there's no economy. Koht, he's only on 16 drones. He's completely all in. And there's only one Ravager left. Oh. Lings, they do slip past. And they rush past the cannons. Into the main. Dewalt out of position. Probe's under fire. With good enough drone drilling, he should be okay though. Yeah. Should be okay. We'll lose one drone. Sorry, one probe. Losing a second. 2 probes go down. Koht, he is now forced to drone. We've been here before. Just like the previous game, Koht, he didn't want to drone. He didn't want to saturate. So this is late droning here from Koht. Now going into a lair. and I have to favor Dewalt. Dewalt is in a better position. The problem here is that Koht, he's droning, which means the army is lacking right now. Like, there's one Roach, one Ravager, a handful of Lings. This army here from Dewalt is looking terrifying. Once again, going for a Stargate opener, or Stargate follow-up. To hunt down that Overlord. And once the Overlord goes down, then Dewalt can push. Koht is getting ready for a Ling run by. The wall is open, so he could slip by after the move out. Just wait for that scout. Koht taking his third base, still droning, still trying to saturate. Lair is almost done. Now, Dewalt, he is not making additional Zealots or any additional Gateway units here. He's actually going for a Robo follow-up, so that means he might not push. So, we have a game. We have a game here. Yeah, Dewalt, he's not pushing, he's not moving out. I do feel like there was an opportunity, but at the same time, he doesn't know what he's moving into. True. So, with the scout, he's gonna scout. Gets eyes on the natural, confirms saturation. Confirms all additional gases. Lair is done though. We're going into a Hydras. Things are spotted. Scout pulls away. Behind this, here comes a shuttle. Most likely into Reavers. The Volti's being somewhat active. Takes down the active tumor. Hydras are on the way. But Koht, he still has a pretty small army. Like, he still doesn't really have much to work with. It's still just 2 Roaches, a Ravager, 3 Hydras. Expansion gets spotted. And Dewalt, I do think that he could potentially break this location. Other queens make things more complicated, but what he can do here is go for the third. Go for the third expansion. Forcing reaction here out of his opponent, out of Koht. Dragoons gets surrounded. Oh, the Biles! Oh, massive connections. And Dragoons are going down. Nicely done. Scouts, they try to respond. They're going for the Hydras. Likewise, they'll say catch out the Ravager. They try to. And so far, a decent cleanup, getting all the Hydras. 3 Hydras go down. But the last, Koht, he will hold. He will hold on. As we're still rallying across the map. Hopefully we don't throw away the shuttle. Don't throw it away. Oh, turns back around. Oh. Dewalt does overextend. Wasn't the worst trade here from Dewalt, checking the overall units lost tab here. Did lose those 3 Dragoons though. Sniping 2 Hydras, 2 Roaches. Once again rallies in, bit of a miss rally. Losing another Dragoon. And we have a game. We have a game. We have a back and forth. Koht is now saturating his third expansion, taking his gases, getting into Roach Hydra. Meanwhile, Dewalt taking his own third. His own third base, building up into Reavers. So we have a game. Getting into the mid game for the first time this series. Let's go. I mean, after failed cheese from Koht. Reaver comes in. Oh. And only gets 1 drone. Not the best targeting. And much better. There we go. 5 drones going down. Pulls away. Soul connection. Same time, scouts here towards left hand side. No major damage. What do we go for? The Hydras! Nice connection. Takes down 2 more Hydras. Just go down. Dewalt, he barely escapes. That Reaver is so close to falling. He's building up even more. More Reavers. Taking up towards Archons, towards Storm. Koht's drone count is still very low. Like, it's still... unfortunately, he's still making more Hydras. He's still focusing on more army supply. So his economy is suffering. Now getting another expansion. Getting a 4th. I do favor Dewalt's position so far. That can change if we can take into Lurker Tech, if we can get like proper 4-base saturation. Then Koht can overwhelm, but he's not there yet. As the queens are off of creep. Uh-oh. Queens are off. Reavers are going for the queens. Oh, and they're going to be able to get them. No transfuse. Yeah, 4 queens go down. Massive catch. What are we doing here? They're cut. Yeah, queens, they overextend. They get shut down. Now going for the expansion. Going for the 4th. Koht setting up a counterattack. So there's a cancel. Back at home, there are still 2 Reavers to defend. Reavers back at home. Dewalt, he races back. Well, moving in. Oh. Army gets spotted. Storm is done in 10 seconds. Still needs a little bit more time. Boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled. Reavers are coming in. And waiting for those shots. Waiting for those connections. Ooh, they're going to be massive. Does get the mineral line, though. Every probe goes down, but the army's going to be forfeit. Ooh, so we get a storm. Get another Reaver shot. Likewise, reinforcements. They catch a Reaver. Not bad. To at least get 1 Reaver. But that's also a brutal loss here for Koht. Throwing away the army he had built up over time. I don't think Koht would be in the worst position if he had his 4th base, but that was cancelled earlier. Still in a decent drone count though. 3 base saturation, not bad. Dewalt did have to pull the boys. But this army is still looking terrifying. Like, there's a lot of Reavers, a Storm. A lot to work with. Koht once again setting up for a counterattack, which means back at home there's not really anything to defend. There's, what, 5 Ravagers? Dewalt pushing onto creep. Koht, he responds. Out of position. He's racing back home. Does race back. Dewalt rotating over towards the 4th base once again. I mean, there is a lot of creep. True. There's a lot of creep to work with. Scouts, finally they go down. Reaver shots here on the queens. Oh my god. The queens, they get shot down. The drones, mineral line gonna pull as well. Nice storm on the roaches, but they are roaches. They can tank it. And they can tank the storms. It will save the expansion. Dewalt gets called out. Losing all of his dragoons. Now we rally it. No! Rallies in the High Templar. And Dewalt, he will lose everything. He'll lose everything. He does get the expansion, does save the Reavers at least. But that was a big loss here for Dewalt. He does trigger the counterattack. Dewalt's coming in towards the 3rd base. Doesn't quite get any shots off. Oh, yes, he will lose everything here. Shuttle goes down, Reavers as well. He does get 14 drones, which is good, but not so sure that was worth it. As I'm terrified, I'm just terrified for the main army. How good are the storms? That's the question. How good are the storms going to be? Do you come in for a pseudo surround? Storms, they do pop up on the Hydras. Oh my god. Storms are pretty good, but not good enough. Yeah, the army gets caught, army gets surrounded. Every High Templar goes down. Oh my god. Koht is forcing his way through. Yo, we got defensive DTs. Let's go. Dewalt, he's holding. He's holding the line. The expansion is a little bit ambitious. No, he doesn't check. No. Okay. He does confirm. Does check the expansion. DT runs into spores. And just does miss that transfer. Dewalt, he's still in this game. He's still in this. He does distract Koht. Koht, he responds here towards top left, which means he cannot defend bottom right. Uh-oh. Now, my biggest concern here is obviously there's no recall. There's no recall here for Dewalt. He does have 2 storms. By Templar exposed. No, the Templar! No! Get a storm off! Not quite. Yeah, one High Templar goes down. He gets a second High Templar as well. 0 storms. And this army is going to go down. We have another reinforcing High Templar. Does waddle in. Has 1 storm. Does connect. He gets 1 at least, but he'll lose everything. He'll lose everything here. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, rough engage there from Dewalt. Losing everything. With that, Koht, he maintains his economy, maintains that 4th. And now there are 0 High Templar, 0 storms. Dewalt, he's been a little bit wasteful here this game, losing a lot of High Templar so far. And we'll see if he can get a 4th base, as he's been denied the 4th time and time again. He just cannot expand. I mean, we spoke about it before. Like, it does feel like this map is a little bit older. It's not really built to take these expansions, or it's difficult, I should say, to maintain them. It is difficult, especially if you don't have map control. So actually about to get 6 drones, true. 6 drones go down. Dewalt taking bottom right. His army's in position, and this time he actually has an army. Let's go. We have 3 storms. 3 storms, 1 Reaver. Koht, his army split. His army is split up. So let's have a force towards the top side. So Koht does have the larger army supply, that is true, but Dewalt, he can hold his own against at least a portion of the army here, if they were to engage. I just get spotted. 4th base getting up and running. Now the High Templar moves in, and here comes Koht. And Dewalt, he should be able to take this fight, depending on the angle of attack. Dewalt, he has more than enough. The run-by is concerning, as there's not much of him to defend. Run-by's moving in. Now let's go. He's got his Dark Archon. Maelstrom on the way. Let's go. So yeah, Koht looking to engage. Second army coming in from behind. And Koht just causing a distraction, coming in for the surround. And Dewalt, he's in Koht. Dewalt, he has to pull away. Yeah, nice, very nice storms. Yeah, storms on the road. Oh my god, he just runs through the storms. He's crazy. Does run through. Does take the storms to the face. More storms coming in. Oh, and the Hydras do melt. Just barely. Dewalt, he does hold on. Does defend. He does run at a High Templar and runs out of storms. Roach is moving in. Does move in at the same time. Reaver harass. Not getting much done. And Koht can just remax. And the problem here is that, again, Dewalt lost how many High Templar in that fight? 7. 7 High Templar went down. If he had preserved them, different story, but without them, Koht, he can just overwhelm. He can just overwhelm the army. He can overwhelm the base. Without storms, without High Templar, this expansion should go down. Starter steps in. Dewalt out of position. And there's no saving this. Like, there's no saving this expansion. Bringing down the base, bringing down the mineral line. Dewalt trying to engage, but he just cannot. Koht even taking the center. Oh god, taking the center expansion. Not like this. Not like this. That should bring it down at least. Koht once again moving in from multiple angles. There's maybe one storm, if that. Another head tempo comes in. Decent storm. But we get this around. We get this around. We come in from behind. Oh my god. Reaver shots are brutal. But the army here is even better here for Koht. He gets a full surround, cleans up the army. GG gets called, and Koht will take the series 2-1, eliminating Dewalt from the tournament. GG. GG, well played, Koht. He will take it. Again, a very intense series here, and there were definitely a lot of strong moments for Dewalt as well. As a reminder, this all began with a gas first build. It was gas pull into hatchery. It was initially a Ling Ravager all-in out of Koht. Dewalt did survive. It was a very impressive hold. Don't want to take anything away from Dewalt. He had a very impressive hold at the start of the game. He was able to defend, able to survive, able to even counterattack as well. But when it came to trying to establish his third base, let alone a fourth, that's where he had some issues here. Koht was able to reestablish his economy. We saw Dewalt take some really rough trades where he was rallying across the map, where he was just throwing away High Templar, throwing away Reavers, just really expensive losses there early on with his spellcasters. Meant that he kind of stumbled his way into the mid game. And we saw, despite him eventually establishing his third base, he never got his fourth. He never really got his fourth base up and running. Again, the fourth base on this map of Bloody Ridge is very isolated. It's very vulnerable. Just really far away and just separated from all the other bases. And as we saw, Dewalt just had a very hard time expanding and holding on to that base. GG. GG, well played. Koht does claim it. And with that, leads us into our next series here. That leads us into another PvP. We're going to be jumping into Prome versus StarCraft.